Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at thedove.us. Welcome back. Well, I am delighted today to have a very special guest. In fact, we're going to go across the other pond. We're going to talk to Nick Adams today. He's an international renowned Australian speaker. He's a lecturer, author, media commentator. He's best known for his work in the field of American Exceptionalism. Yes, an Aussie knows more about us than we know about ourselves. And we are delighted to talk to him today about a lot of things. Hey, mate, nice to see you.
Very pleasure to be here with you, sir.
All right. Hey, listen, we got some great people over there in Australia. Vision Radio, those are all members of our family.
There are some fantastic Australians that are committed to exactly the kind of principles that you carry out, Perry, and that's why it's a tremendous honour for me to be with you today.
Thank you so much, sir. Well, listen, as you know, we are really struggling with this whole issue of immigration. It's the can that we continually kick down the road. Your country has experienced what we are now experiencing, but you seem to have fixed the problem. Tell us about it.
Well, that's a very salient point that you raised, Perry. Essentially, we had a very big problem on our borders from 2007, the end of 2007 onwards, when a centre-left government was elected, and they decided to dismantle the existing border protection policy that had been very effective. And so over the next 4 years came 50,000 illegal immigrants on over 800 boats. 1,200 people tragically perished at sea making the journey, and the budget blew out by $10.3 billion. It was a complete mess. And it wasn't until we got a patriotic government in, a conservative government, that got tough and re-implemented the previously existing border protection policies, plus some other things. And essentially we said, Perry, we are going to determine who comes into our country and the circumstances under which they come. And if you come to Australia the wrong way, if you come to Australia illegally, then you will never ever get to stay. You will never get to live in Australia. You will never get to be an Australian. And once that message got out, the boats have stopped, the illegal immigrants have stopped coming, and we are a safer, more secure and more confident nation as a result.
All right, did you have some of the reactions that we've had where it was, at the time, a very desperate humanitarian situation?
Yeah, absolutely. It's, you know, like I say, that is a very perilous journey coming from Southeast Asia all the way to Australia on the high seas. And there were people drowning, and that really hurt the Australian people, because not only were these policies clearly ineffective, Perry, but they were killing people. And so what can be more humanitarian than saving lives? And I know that with the American experience, there are, I think, one of the less told stories about the border crisis are the number of people that die trying to cross the American border. And they're doing it because they've been encouraged by the weakness of this administration and administrations past, and they can see that there isn't a political will to solve the problem. And so in effect they're being encouraged to make this journey. But if the Australian experience can teach anything, it is that if you can prove to the people that they will be risking an enormous amount, their money, their life, for zero gain, then they are going to stop making that journey. And there were lots of desperation. I mean, we had people throwing their children overboard. This is not a new thing, but you have to be tough. There can be no exceptions, Perry. Whatever their age, they need to be sent back, because this is a country of laws, and borders are critical to the health and security of a nation. And there is nothing more humanitarian, there is nothing more moral than ensuring the safety of your own population and ensuring that people are not being killed effectively by a policy or by an attitude that seems to invite or encourage an action.
Well, that is so very well said. In the meantime, Nick, we got an additional problem. You probably have been tracking it, and that is as these illegal people come across the border, we put them on planes and then drop them off in cities, and now they're scattered throughout our communities. It's almost impossible now to go find them all, pick them all up, and put them on a plane and send them back.
Well, that's very true. That's very true, Perry. It's a lot more difficult to deal with the ones that are already here. But you certainly can do something about the ones that want to come, or planning on coming, or are coming right now. And I think that's what the focus has got to be on. And, you know, I think that it's very important that these people are aware that if they come to America the wrong way, if they don't do the right thing, then they'll never get to live in America, they'll never get to work in America, they'll never get to pursue the American dream, and they'll never become an American. And they've got to understand that there's a right way and a wrong way of doing things. Now, the legal process isn't easy, and I know that from personal experience. I'm dealing with that right now. It's cumbersome, it's enormously expensive, it's an extraordinarily rigorous process, it's very lengthy. But if you want to live in the country that you love and that you want to be a part of, the first act cannot be to break the law. That's not the act of someone that truly loves a nation, and frankly it's probably not the type of person that you would want in your country.
That is beautifully said, Nick. You write and speak a lot on America's exceptionalism, and there are those in Congress and in leadership that say we are not exceptional. And here you are writing and speaking as an Aussie that we are. Give us your take on that.
Well, Perry, American exceptionalism is very obvious. I mean, if you have a look throughout history, there's never been a country like America in almost 5,000 years of recorded human history. The three basic waves of innovation, from the agricultural to the industrial to the technological currently, we've never seen a nation dominate like America has. There's generally said to be four ways that a nation can be exceptional: culturally, militarily, economically, and scientifically. And again, America on each and every one of those levels has dominated and offered the world such incredible inventive genius and innovation and achievement and success. In terms of scientific citations, America is number one, but it's not just number one, Perry. If you combine the totals of all the other countries that rank between 2 and 9, their collective scientific citations don't match America at number one. So the gap is profound, and American exceptionalism is an incontrovertible truth. It's an undeniable reality. We just need to have a look around us, and we just need to have a look at the role that America's been able to have. I mean, it's American exceptionalism is optimism, not pessimism. It's faith, not secularism. It's limited government, not nanny state. It's equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome. And these are the things that differentiate America and make the American experience very different to the European experience, or even the Australian and British and Canadian experiences. So it's really important that Americans understand that the American value system, it's the value system that makes America so extraordinary and so exceptional. They need to understand what constitutes the American value system and why it is the last best hope for humanity. And I guess sometimes a spectator sees more of the game. And I know that Americans are very down right now, and rightfully so. There's really not a tremendous amount to be hopeful about or for. But I can tell you quite assuredly that with all the current ailments afflicting America, and I'm under no illusion as to how deep those are, but despite all of the problems America's got right now, it is still by far and away the greatest country in the world to live. the place where dreams are most likely to come true. It's the most free place. It is the place where people want to come. And I just make this point, which connects to what we've been speaking about. If the American future was as bleak as most Americans feel that it is, you would not have the problem that you have on your borders right now.
Wow. We seem to be suffering from a spirit of pessimism or cynical. We seem to be very cynical about ourselves these days. And yet, I think you said it so well, Nick, we still have the attributes to continue to be great. So we almost need we need this cloud of pessimism lift from us. We're still America. We're still best. God is still with us. Now, we've done a lot of things, and perhaps even God's upset with us, but there's nothing beyond a good old repentance that wouldn't fix all this stuff and move forward.
Well, that's exactly right. And what I try and tell Americans, Perry, is that you don't need to reinvent the wheel. An American comeback or an American boomerang doesn't require Americans to do anything different other than return to the first principles, the founding visions, the traditional model of America. God, family, neighborhood, and flag. And if Americans can remain committed to those values, if Americans can exercise fidelity to the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and all of those other things, then an American Renaissance is never more than 5 minutes away, because there's great people like you, Perry, and there's organisations like yours right across the country and indeed around the world. Americans have always had a missionary presence right around the world. And there's so many people doing so many great things. I always feel that America is never more than 5 minutes away from a full-blooded renaissance. In my book, The American Boomerang, I'm here on a book tour right now, and in my book I outline a 10-point plan, a 10-point recovery plan for Americans to come back. And that is to end the waste, pay back to limit the government, axe political correctness, protect the borders, preserve Judeo-Christian traditions, cut taxes, exercise the Constitution, and keep the peace through unquestioned military advantage.
Wow.
And you know, Perry, if America can do those things, and I'm not saying it's easy, but that is a consensus-inspiring agenda, and I know America is very polarised right now, but if you can unite behind those things, then I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that you will forge a new generation of Americans capable of bringing the American dream for 100 years at least. And that would be the best thing, not just for America, but the entire world.
Nick, you're an inspiration. Thank you. Where can you have a website? I got to go.
Yes, sir. NickAdamsinAmerica.com. That's www.nickadamsamerica.com.
All right, get his book called Boomerang America, and I'm sure it's available at the bookstores or at Amazon. There's a picture of it there on the screen. Thanks, my friend. I look forward to having you back. You're an inspiration to us Americans.
I appreciate that, Terry, and I thank you very much for being a patriotic warrior for liberty. I'll come back anytime that you'd like me to.
All right, likewise, pal. God bless. We'll see you next time on Focus Today.